Serious, what secret could destroy your life if it got out? I can't stop myself from lying. Half the time I lie about things that don't matter and should have just told the truth for, but I can't stop myself from doing it. All the lies I've told began small, all catch up to at one point or another and are seriously damaging my life. My parents and brother don't trust me at all anymore because I've done some incredibly stupid things and lied about them. I've also had to do things or tell bigger lies to cover what started out as a little white lie. Other people around me that were caught me in a lie don't know how to act around me anymore. I know I need to stop and I am trying, but the more I try to stop doing it, the more I do it. This is slowly destroying my life and my relationship with my family, and there is nothing I can about it. My twin sister and I love each other. We love each other more than siblings should. I'm sure the incest would disgust a lot of people, and that alone would ruin a lot of relationships. Our parents and grandparents would probably disown and disinherit us. Other family would probably break off contact, and we'd lose a good chunk of our friends. I imagine news would spread like wildfire amongst our social circle. Our older sister might be the only person in our family who wouldn't outright condemn us. And I'm not even too sure about that. Sometimes we think about running away to Europe or something, so we can start new lives with fake identities. Edit, since so many people are asking. We're fraternal twins. And I'm a male. Throwaway for obvious reasons. I hit a smallish lottery, few mil, a little while back and told absolutely no one. Family and friends included. I took a bunch of steps to secure my kids' futures and we live a very comfortable but not lavish life. I'm pretty generous with the people around me. I think that they just think I'm doing very well career-wise, or something illegal under the table. I justify it by thinking that if this was general knowledge amongst friends and family it would ruin relationships. My priority needed to be my kids. The fact that my brother, my father, and I know that my mom has been cheating on my dad for the past 3 years. It's a complicated situation. Throwaway for great reason. When I was about 9, my oldest sister died, age 32, and her 2 kids came to live with us. I'm a surprise child, so all of my siblings are much older than me. My nephew and I shared a room. He was just a year younger than me, and around when I was 11 and he was 10. We started doing sexual things. Over the years, we started out dry humping with clothes on, then clothes off. Then eventually I started performing oral on him. Around age 13 or 14 we started doing now. I was always the bottom, nearly every night. When I went away for college at 18, we never did it again and haven't spoken of it since. In fact, I don't remember ever talking about it. One of us would just give our gesture to the other that we wanted to duck and went at it. I'm 21 now and am in the process of coming out as gay. He identifies as straight and is in a relationship, but I wonder all the time if it's just for a cover-up. Anyways, we're the only two that know about it and I wouldn't dare tell anyone. Not even my closest, most trustworthy best friend. Sometimes I fear he might tell someone one day. Edit, wow. Didn't expect this to blow up the way it did. I am emotionally numb. I always have to fake being happy or excited about things. I guess it kind of sucks because I'm not happy or unhappy, and the only time I'm considerate is when I'm doing something because I know something bad will happen and not because of guilt or a negative emotion of any kind. I sometimes wonder why I exist, but I don't delve too deeply because I just don't care. Wow. I didn't expect this comment to explode like this. I hope everyone understands that I can't possibly go through all of the replies because it would take hours. I'm glad that a lot of people understand how I feel though. Also thanks for all of the support everyone. I have not paid income taxes in a decade. I don't get any withholding. I don't know how it got away from me like that. At this point I'm afraid to ask. Go to a tax attorney today. The IRS has programs where people can go, file back taxes, and pay reduced penalties taxes. It's very common. But do not, I repeat, Do not call one of those skeezy pay off your back taxes firms you see advertised on TV. Go to legit tax attorney. Come clean. Bring W2S and everything. Then get it settled. You absolutely will pay lower taxes penalties if you voluntarily make amends than if the IRS audits you and finds what's up. Edit to stop the question. No, I will not give an exact location. No. Not even via PM. I created a throwaway because, though it seems kind of stupid, it could absolutely destroy everything I have built up. I am employed by a company that allows people to work remotely. They only hire in specific states in the US. Not only do I not live in one of those states, I don't even live in the US. I am a US citizen but am currently not in the US, and it's because of this job and the shitty economy in the country I'm in I get to live a pretty damned lavish life. For every $1 it's worth about 600% more here because the currency is weak. Getting weaker. And it's just cheap as shit to live here anyways. I've been working for months and I've had some close calls. I screwed up a couple of times and they questioned me about it. I had to lie. How I really feel about myself. It would lead to both people being driven away from me and people empathizing for me. I would hate the people who stayed with me. Probably yell at them. Drive them away. Then I would be alone. And have nothing to live for. So, for now, I put on my facade and move on. Every single day I fantasize about getting on a plane. Going far away. And starting over. I'm just too afraid to do it. I really hate to be that guy. But here's a word of caution. Take careful consideration into what problems, predicaments you currently have because they have the tendency to follow you wherever you go. I have a disability. The internet doesn't know that I'm disabled. I am a developer. Followed by up to 500 people on Twitter and nobody ever saw me or listened my voice. I don't want to reveal that because I'm scared it would destroy my reputation. I know. I'm too much negative and I should relax and simply come out. The problem is that, in real life, I am really disadvantaged by my disability. Sorry if my English is a bit wobbly. I'm not a native speaker. How much I don't care about a lot of people in my life that like me. Co-workers. Friends. Family. There are a ton of them I just don't care for really. And am just civil with them for convenience. Some of them have done pretty nice things for me. And I am thankful. But there are still some I just don't really like that much. I used to not be like this. I used to try and maintain all the relationships. Now many old friends, people that live far away. I don't even make an effort. And I wonder if I ever cared at all. The weirdest part is in social situations. I'm really good at being friendly. And feigning interest in people's life. I've been complimented on being a nice and genuine guy. But there's this resentment I have for many people in my life that I keep hidden. The only people I really care for are a few close friends. My immediate family. And my girlfriend. Other than that, I'd rather just be alone. This one really would destroy my life. I have suicidal ideation fairly frequently. I'm terrified of death and would never actually kill myself. But I fantasize about killing myself a lot. Especially when I'm stressed or tired or PMsing. I've mentally composed more suicide notes than I can possibly imagine. If I ever tell a doctor about it, my life as a free unmedicated woman is over. I'm terrified of mental hospitals and of psychiatric medication. I never told anyone about how I feel. A doctor would instantly confine me to a mental hospital. And a friend or family member would either panic or just think I'm some sort of drama queen. That I enjoy peeing in the sink when I'm home alone because it feels sort of taboo. I have a cross-dressing fetish. But I'm completely straight. I have an incredibly supportive girlfriend who knows, but I don't think I could ever handle telling anyone else. And Lord only knows what would happen my small social life. A really good lifelong buddy of mine dropped out of college after 9/11 and joined the army. He completed 3 tours in Iraq. Got married. Had a kid. All was great for him. His mom was the type that was close to his friends because they reminded her of him while he was away. So us guys would take her out and keep her company. As a group. One day she called me up and asked to go out and have a drink. She found some pictures or whatever of her son and I from childhood and she couldn't wait to share. We meet up at a local watering hole for a couple drinks and a few laughs. She kept feeding me drinks and before I could say that it was time for me to head out she had her hands on me and was very forward. I admit it wasn't a decision that I was capable of making at that time. So I went with what felt good. We went back to my house and had some of the craziest eye-popping tantric, drunk, sex. My buddy died in Iraq a few months later and I am a horrible person. Edit, spelling. As a very out transsexual woman, I just want to assure everyone here that these fears you have are far more damaging to you than dealing with the consequences of your dirty little secret getting out. Living authentically and honestly, being truly known by others, is an amazing experience. I've said racist things to my friends before jokingly, but if some of them were ever caught on tape I would be in some deep it. My first girlfriend was really the love of my life. She was the only person that was ever able to finish my sentences and we bonded over sort of a mutual disdain for the world we lived in. I knew her psyche was fragile and I literally gave her a reason to live while she was institutionalized. We broke up and she committed suicide. Or at least that's what I tell people. In reality, I cheated on her and she destroyed herself. She burned holes through her skin hundreds of times. Sliced dozens of cuts through her body and face. And threw herself off a bridge. I can't even imagine what someone will think if I ever said those things. I've only told a couple people that it even happened. But as far as the details, I probably should do so but I just can't face that. I lied about being infertile. I got off to guys ducking me and in turn the risk of getting pregnant. Is that even what you would call a fetish? I actively lied to partners because I wanted the forbidden thrill of doing something I am not supposed to do. You would never know it by how I am though. It haunts me. It would ruin my family. Edit, I forgot to mention I had a miracle baby. I believe in aliens. Like. To an insane degree. I used to attempt to summon them in an effort to be abducted. I've spent countless hours and night upon sleepless night looking up abduction videos and the like online. Every time I think about aliens I get this adrenaline rush and feel so alive with the thought of hyper-intelligent, spiritually advanced, telepathically inclined beings. I dream of being abducted. Or to at least come into contact with extraterrestrials. I guess this wouldn't necessarily destroy my life. But my family is extremely religious and anything of this nature is a big no-no to them. Plus if anyone realized how much time and energy I've invested into this I'm pretty sure they would think I'm a nut job and stop being friends with me. Here we go. As a kid. Probably around 12, I'm in my 20s now, a friend of mine and I started doing sexual things. We are the same sex and we did everything. I put my pen 15 in his butt. In his mouth. He put his pen 15 in my mouth. In my butt. We did it as much as possible for several years. Eventually we just stopped. We're still friends to this day and never talk about it. Because of this. I think I have a problem with all relationships. I'm currently married but before I got married I was having an inappropriate relationship with a coworker. This relationship continued after I was married until she told me she was pregnant. She's married. She told me the baby wasn't mine but it was born about 9 months after we last had relations. I haven't told my wife and I think about it every day if the kid is mine and 15 years down the line she popped up out of nowhere. I have never and will never do anything outside of my marriage as the guilt that I live with is so heavy. I'm asexual and married to a man who definitely isn't asexual. My husband knows. Obviously. Because we've been together 4 years and haven't had sex yet but no one else knows. They don't know that we're in an open relationship and he has sex with other women because that's the one thing I can never give him. And no. I don't mind that he has sex with other people. It was my idea and we have strict rules about it that he's always followed, and we're very secure in our relationship. This secret wouldn't exactly destroy my life, but it would absolutely change the way everyone saw us. I almost had an affair. I have no idea why. I absolutely love my husband and would absolutely hate myself if I had gone through with it. If I ever told him, I think it would destroy him. A year ago I slept with Miley Cyrus. I got married 3 years ago and I have 2 kids with my wife. I live in Vegas and I met her at a club. She was OFC a VIP, but my best friend from high school got a management gig at the club through my dad and worked his way up. He introduced me and during the course of the night we hung out off and on. She invited me to a hotel room party that I took her up on. We smoked weed up, did some molly, and of course got more sheet-faced, which led to us sleeping together. If my wife found out, she'd divorce me and keep me from my newborn and almost 2-year-old sons. I failed out of college and didn't tell anyone. I lied about still being in school and pretended to go to classes. My parents still thought they were paying for my college. That is the worst part of this whole thing. I wasted 6 months and a good $5,000, if not more. Edit. Thanks everyone for your responses. It's good to know that I'm not the only one who has messed up in response to a lot of questions. My parents found out about everything when my mom was trying to get my health insurance taken care of and the insurance said that I wasn't enrolled in school. This was 5 years ago. I have since paid my parents back for the money they spent. Went to community college. Transferred to a 4-year. And am now about to graduate with my BS. Well damn. Now that some dude bangs his dog, I don't feel so bad about me and my cousin knocking boots every time we're in town together. Been banging the babysitter for years. No more throwaway here. I see a lot of suicidal and incest posts, so mine is probably pale in comparison and will stay at the bottom. Anyway. I almost held my sister years ago. She was about 3 and I was maybe 9-11 years old. I carried her to the terrace. 5 stories high including the ground floor. And like some dumb duck, I placed her at the edge of the terrace. Above the barricade of sorts. There was nothing to protect her from falling. And directly below, 5 stories down, is a cemented path. I don't remember what was so important I had to do that I left her dangling there. At death's edge. All I remember is she was starting to sway backwards towards the ground. Alarm bells started ringing in my head. So I ran and somehow managed to grab onto her just as she was about to fall. I felt my heart racing against my chest. I hugged her for a really long time. Too afraid to let go. To this day, I haven't told her. She's 25 now. Nor my mom. Even typing this still makes me nervous. That height. How our baby's body would have ended up splattered all over the hard cemented pathway. How I could be institutionalized. How my family would have disowned me. How I would have missed watching her grow up. Still haunts me. It developed an irrational fear in me of carrying babies around. Even if I'm not the one carrying them. Or even if there is no height involved. Edit. Thanks for all the awesome responses, guys. And yes, I will definitely tell her this one day. Just not yet. Still can't see how we'll be able to laugh about it though. Still gives me the chills. The creepy kind. Well, I am from India and I have evidenced a 726.8 crore rupee scam that my former company did that basically robbed millions of students a chance at a good livelihood. I was put in the scam by the company, and when I said I will not and I resigned, the company told me that they will destroy my life if I made it public. I was 22 at that time and was scared. The owner of the company is related with police officers and literally they can screw my life easily. But not a single day goes by when I don't think about it. I've been living in my head for more than 30 years. As a child, I made some kind of fantasy world to escape from my miserable childhood, and I never fully returned to the real world. I never got a proper education. Since I can't concentrate more than a couple of hours before I get distracted and return to my other reality, and I have lost several jobs because I'm not paying attention. I don't have any kind of social life and generally prefer to just sit in the dark and dream my life away. My sister was sexually assaulted by my cousin when we were all young. That came out and it took years to get over it all, and now we are on a level ground again. The thing that nobody knows is that he sexually assaulted me as well. Nobody can know as it will tear apart my family.